Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the LaunchPad Associate Workshop Series. We have Ron Dupres on this afternoon presenting on career enhancement. Those that have not met Ron is a relatively newly elected PGA member. He's been Class A since August of 2020. He is the head golf professional at Reedy Creek in Escondido. Ron, thanks for joining us this afternoon, and thank you very much for presenting on the work experience kit of career enhancement.
Yeah, my pleasure, John. Thanks.
It's all yours. Take it away.
Oh, thanks.
At the conclusion of your presentation, we'll open it up to Q&A, and
Sure.
It's all yours.
All right, guys. Career enhancement. You'll hear this again towards the end. It may be small or a small section of your whole portfolio, but this is really about you. When you think about all the other modules that you have to go through, business, tournaments, car fleet, food and beverage, that's all about the business. This is the one module that is directly related to you. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go through this. Again, it may be a small module, but it's definitely an important module because this is what's going to help you find your way through the industry and get the positions that you want to have. Okay. All right. So we have an agenda. We just have objectives. This is pretty typical stuff, as I'm sure you guys are aware of. So let's kind of move on. All right. So this is who I am. This is my third career. My first real career was in the Navy. I was there for 24 years. Got out, got a degree in geology, my undergrad in geology, and then I got a degree in education, my master's degree in educational leadership. And then I was a high school teacher for 10 years teaching science. First started with earth science, and then I got certified in biology. Things happened within the education side of the house, I guess. And my wife kind of put this bug in my ear, and she said, "Hey, what do you want to do for phase 3 of your life?" She goes, "You've always talked to me about this golf thing, and why don't you look into that?" And my question to her was, "So you're telling me to play more golf?" Well, little did I know that once I was in the industry, I played less golf now than I did when I was out. So, but anyway, I enrolled in the Golf Academy of America in Chandler, Arizona. Graduated, as you can see, class valedictorian from there. But there was something missing. And so I went, enrolled in the PGM program and obtained my Class A in August of 2020. It took me a little over 3 years, and I think that's important for you guys to understand. You put this off to the side and you let it go. You start hitting those milestones, those 2-year windows that you have to complete your modules in your portfolios and taking the tests and everything. So if there's one piece of advice from this aspect that I would give you is stay diligent with this stuff and get through it. Once you get on a roll, it just kind of happens. When you have to stop and start over again, then you kind of get frustrated and, your mindset changes and nothing really good can come from that. Prior to my current position, I was an assistant golf professional at McCormick Ranch in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm currently the head golf professional here at Reedy Creek in Escondido. Got that job in actually June of this year. The prior head pro is now the head pro over at the Crossings in Carlsbad. So that's a little bit about me. So let's kind of dive into what you're really here for. Where we at? Okay, so what did we learn throughout this module? Career enhancement is different than just getting the next job. I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. This is about you. Okay. It's about how we're going to set goals. There's an old saying, fail to plan, plan to fail. So make sure you have a roadmap, setting goals, build the diversified skill sets, so learn something different, something out of your comfort zone. Develop a career development plan. We'll get into that here in just a minute. Know where you want to go, have a direction, and then advance in a career, execute that plan, make that plan work. One of the first things that I found personally, and believe it or not, I actually did this. I'm going to kind of take the next two, being honest with yourself and prepare a competency SWOT. I did this, and it was amazing how I saw myself after I was done, as far as what my strengths and weaknesses were. So, but you first have to, like I said, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to put all the ego aside, and you just have to be able to know what you really want to do. Do you want to be a head pro? Do you want to be an instructor? Do you want to be in tournament sales? Do you want to be in merchandising? What part, food and beverage? What part of this industry do you really want to do? And then how to do it, okay? And believe it or not, this SWOT analysis is definitely going to help you find that direction, or maybe even tell you maybe you're going in the wrong direction, okay? But I would definitely recommend that you take this part serious and do this SWOT analysis on your own abilities. You already did this, as you can see. It was in business planning, so it shouldn't be foreign to anybody. But you do need to know who you are, what you believe you want to do, and what your abilities are to do that particular job. Competencies and skill sets in demand by employers. This isn't just in the golf industry. This is in any aspect or any area of the workforce. Social media skills, we kind of all need those. And I'm way behind on that. Believe me, I got LinkedIn and that's about it. I don't have Facebook. I don't have anything. But then again, I was a teacher, and the last thing I wanted to do was having students Facebooking me and wanting me to friend them. So I just stayed off of it. Customer relations skills. In many respects, golf is hospitality. I worked for a bigger company, JC Resorts, and that is what they were built on, was hospitality. You have to have really good customer relations and customer service skills. Marketing and sales, they are different, as it says. Are you good in one or the other? Brand management, not only the company that you're working for, the facility you're working for, but your own personal brand. Remember, at the very beginning, guys, this is all about you. How are you going to brand yourself? Communication skills, oral and written, incredibly important, incredibly important. And that will come about when you start doing your resumes. Management skills. Do you have management skills? Or are you just really new to the workforce and maybe you just haven't been put in a position to exercise these skills? Work ethic. I don't think anybody needs to talk about work ethic. We all know what that is. And be well-rounded. Again, if somebody asks you to go outside and clean carts, well, go outside and clean carts. Learn about the rotation system in your cart barn. At my particular facility, we wear many hats, and I'm the head pro, and I was out there this afternoon and I was washing carts. I was serving beer. I was making sandwiches for customers. Learn as much as you can. Just learn as much as you can. Okay, and we'll just kind of leave it at that. Industry trends and opportunities. Right now, as we all know, the golf industry is booming in all aspects. And so supply and demand is really kind of in your favor as far as getting jobs. There are a lot of jobs out there. People right now are still collecting a lot of unemployment because, you know, of all the government subsidies and state subsidies, and people are just kind of waiting till they finish. Get ahead of that curve, because come October, September, I believe it is, all those benefits are going away, and people are going to be hitting the market really, really hard in October. So, you know, I mean, get ahead of that curve and start looking for some of these opportunities early. But you got operations, obviously, working in the pro shop, the business side of golf, teaching, player development, general management. You can read the rest. Selling yourself. Once again, I go back to one of the first things I said. This is about you. Know yourself. Know who you are selling to. That's basically know your audience. If you're going to a muni, hey, you need to understand that, and it will be different than if you're walking into a high-end private resort. It'll also be different if you go to a resort facility. But know your audience. Highlight specific ways you can add value. You know, just walking in the door isn't going to cut it anymore. You know, just because somebody needs, you see a job posting, you have to be able to bring something to the table. All right. Be specific and concise. I have recently been able to interview some people, and for a job opening at my facility that we have thankfully filled. People come in, they just start using all these flowery words, and the only thing that was going through my head was, you know, what are you hiding? You know, just tell me, answer the question. So be specific and be concise, and develop your interviewing skills. And that can actually be from both sides. You know, they say a good offense, good defense is a good offense, or is it the other way around? If you know the other side, if you know what the interviewer is going to do and ask, it sure makes your answers and your preparation for the interview a whole lot better, and you definitely come across more professional, more prepared. All right. Then we have resumes, cover letters, skill development. There's plenty of examples on the PGA. Talk to us. We are a fraternity. I've talked to people who have retired from the PGA, and they have helped me immensely. So talk to, like it says, fellow professionals and your career consultants. Do not hesitate to get in touch with Ken Farrell. Kenny is our section career consultant. He can help you in so many different ways, Okay, so here are some of the activities. Okay, so now we're kind of getting it actually into the portfolio here, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get over into into the actual portfolio. Just bear with me. Okay, I hope you guys can all see that. All right, so one of the things you're going to be asked to do in your portfolio is to interview somebody already in the business. All right, interview a supervising professional. So if you're in the industry, that kind of makes it easy. You can talk to your head pro, or if you have a GM, talk to one of those guys. If you're not in the industry, believe me, just go into your local golf facility, golf course, and just try to set up time and explain to the head pro or the GM or whoever it is that's there that you want to talk to. Set up some time with them, make an appointment, and go back and see them. And so here you have interview summary. So the beginning part obviously is just, who it is, his position, course name, his or her name, his or her position, the course name, facility type, where it's located. Okay, so briefly describe the supervising professional's career path. Here, guys, you're asking him, how did he get to where he or she is? Did he or she start in the cart barn? Did he or she start maybe in food and beverage and decide to go to golf operations? But just have them briefly describe, or you briefly describe the answer to that question, which is basically, what was your career path? What types of jobs and for how long? What were the supervising professionals' opinions of key knowledge, skills, and experiences needed to succeed? The 5 most important. Here again, it is the supervising professional's opinion. What they thought were key pieces of knowledge, skills, and experiences that led to their success, to either getting the job they had or moving up through the ranks. Describe at least 2 challenges that the professional described as he or she meets. And that can be numerous things, as we all know. Anything can be a challenge, a road bump, if you will, a speed bump. And this can take numerous, lost a word here. This can take in numerous directions. Everybody's on their best behavior in an interview, and then you get the job and realize you may have a personality conflict with somebody that you got to report to. You got to find a way to get around that. And maybe you just, it's a new POS system. Maybe it's something more simple, just something you had to learn, new technology. What career path options did you learn about during the interview? These are for you. All right, guys, these are specifically for you. So what career path options did you learn about? Starting in the cart barn, starting in food and beverage. Maybe you started as an assistant golf professional behind the desk, tendering tee times. But there are numerous paths to get to wherever it is you want to get to. What specific feedback did you get about your preliminary personal development summary goal plan? This again goes back to you. What did you get about your personal development summary? So at some point you will show them, this professional, your development summary, and they should be able to give you feedback, good feedback that you'll be able to maybe make decisions on, changes. Yeah, so you get the point. What specific feedback did you get about your current resume? Okay, we really haven't talked about resumes yet, but yeah, definitely bring a copy of your resume with you and have that person look it over. I mean, after all, they are in the industry already, and you want to be in the industry. Describe 3 examples of how the information shared by the supervising professional can help you progress in the program. So again, I think it's a little self-explanatory, but yeah, just 3 examples of information that he shared, some nuggets that you might be able to hold on to to help you progress through the PGA, PGM program. I kind of gave you one at the beginning. You know, we were talking about, stay diligent with this program, because once you start, putting it off and letting other things get in the way, and I'm not saying there are not more important things in life, but the quicker you can get through the program, the more committed you are to finishing the program, the easier it's going to be. And then after reflecting on the interview, what 5 career or program related questions would you like to ask at your next meeting? These guys, these are more of your follow-up questions. Okay. Just think, I want more information on this. I'd like to know more about that. And then ask those questions, when you get back with the supervising professional. Okay, just ask them the other questions, but have about 5 of them, as you can see. And then we have a rubric here about how it will be graded. So you basically have the answers right there in front of you, right, about what is expected. Okay, so we go back to here. Just a second. Let's go back to here. Okay, so we go back to our PowerPoint. Okay, so you interviewed the supervising professional. Now you're going to refine your personal development summary and goal plan. Okay, and that was one of the questions, if you remember. Okay. Okay, so refine your personal development goal plan. Pretty self-explanatory. Focus on meaning development targets. If you have strengths, don't ignore ways to target and improve. Conversely, if you have weaknesses, be specific on what you can improve on. Okay. Again, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory at that point, right? You can improve basically both of these bullet points, both end in improve. So even though you think it's a strength, you can always get a little bit better. And if you see it as a weakness, then again, what can you do to improve that? Whoops. Okay, long-term, your goals. You need both short and long-term goals. Think back to your business planning. Okay, you have your vision, you have your mission, and then how are we going to achieve these? Be specific. Okay, be specific. Remember the SMART goals was specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So when you're doing this goal plan, keep those in mind. Don't just say you want to be a better teacher, to use this example. Okay, how are you going to be a better teacher? Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back over here again. And here's your developmental summary right here in your portfolio. So your work experience area, basically, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a head pro? Do you want to be a GM? Do you want to be a teaching pro? Okay. What about those things that interest you? What are your strengths that do you think would make you a good head pro? What would make you a good teaching professional? And again, your weaknesses, same thing, right? What are some of the things you think you may have to improve on? And the more you put in each one of these boxes, the more bullet points you put in. To me, I always kind of see it as you're digging deeper. Anybody can put, oh yeah, I'm interested in teaching. My strengths, in my case, yeah, I'm interested in teaching. my strength is, well, for 10 years, I was in the classroom, my weaknesses are probably, need to be better at teaching the full swing. I personally just like teaching the short game. But that's very superficial. So the more you put in here, the more bullet points you have, it makes you dig deeper into yourself to really have a better idea as to whether this work experience area, whatever it is you want to do, is something you really think you want to go in that direction. And like I said, when we did back with the SWOT analysis, you may find that, maybe I would be better at maybe not being a head pro and being a teaching pro. You'll find a lot out about yourself. Again, I said at the very beginning, this is the one module that is all about you. And here is where you're going to put your short-term goals. This is where you're kind of smart. Think of this as your SMART goals here. Okay, your timeline. Maybe this would be short-term goal. Reach out to a local head pro to ask permission to be able to watch them give a lesson. And the timeline could be, do that, by 5 o'clock tonight, or do it by tomorrow, or reach out to them by the end of the week. But have a timeline for everything. If any one of these are important, it's a timeline. That's what's going to keep you on track. And again, there's a rubric here. And then we get finally to our resume. And I did have my resume here. I just, for some reason, I'm not seeing it up here anymore. That's the screen. Yikes. All right, guys, unfortunately, I don't have my resume, but you know something? You can go online and see numerous different types of resumes. And I don't really know where each of you are in your working careers, whether maybe some of you're new to the workforce. Others might be like me. One or two of you guys might be like me, and this is your second or third career. But when you're researching what would be the best resume to do, you'll take all that into consideration. And then you'll have to, especially if you're in a situation like I am, where this is your third career, you have so much stuff that you could put on the resume, but only so much of it is actually applicable. So you got to really get judicious about what it is you really want to bring to the table with you, okay? But update your resumes, guys. Update them. Believe me, not updating your resume will hurt you more than you would think, because you're not going to remember everything. So when you do something and you have those numbers, and I do want to talk about numbers for just a second, because it's probably one of the most important things about resume writing is quantitative. Okay, 95%. Something was improved by 95%. Something was improved by this much, whatever this is, X. And make sure you have those numbers, and that's why really updating your resume is really important, because at some point in time you may have done anything, and you're not going to remember. You're just not going to remember those numbers. So make sure as things you accomplish, you hit certain milestones in your career, that you update your resume. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just put the information into your resume. And again, like you can see right there, it says there's plenty of resume examples on the PGA.org. And these are basically typical around recommendations for writing a resume. Don't make it too long. You know, like it says, 20, 25 seconds to get somebody's attention. And after that, if they're putting your resume aside if they don't see what they want to see. Okay. And exaggeration. Yeah, I kind of see exaggeration maybe a little different than most. Again, that goes back to being specific and concise. Don't use a lot of flowery words. Just get to the point. You only have so much time and so much space to make an impression on these people that you're trying to get a job with. And so from there, okay, we're going to kind of skip through some of that. Okay, and this is really kind of one of the last slides, guys. This module is probably the easiest. I had said that at the beginning, and I told you that you would hear it again at the end, but do not dismiss its importance. Again, you will learn about food and beverage. You will learn about merchandising. You will learn about teaching. Okay, that is all about the industry. Okay, this is the one module that is all about you. So take it serious. Don't dismiss its importance. Focus on lifelong development, not just your next position. You know, will the next position get you to where you want to be? Let's hope so. But think of the big picture and not just what's going to happen tomorrow or next month. Utilize the resources at your disposal. Again, Ken Farrell, get in touch with him, our career consultant. A wealth of knowledge about the area and the industry around here. Develop a plan. Know it that it will be modified. Anything you do, you will always at some point find a weakness in it, and that's the time to say, okay, didn't really think this all the way through, maybe. Okay, and then you know, go back and modify it, make it better, bring it up to date. And I've been saying kind of some of this stuff all along. Develop a schedule for completing your activities, that being your portfolio. Attend these sessions, ask questions, and just keep moving in the direction towards completion. If you tend to procrastinate, think too much, you can get behind in this, guys. That's why they have these timelines of 2 years to finish each of these levels. Okay, everybody knows that you can get behind, but in the end, you have a ton of resources out there. There's myself. There's the section. There's numerous people out there that just don't get discouraged. Okay, there are many people that are in your corner. We all want to see you finish this. If we didn't, we wouldn't be offering LaunchPad. So that should tell you something. Okay, guys. So have fun with it. Enjoy the journey. It's not all about the destination. I think that's about it. Hope you guys learned something, got something out of this, and hope to see you guys out there in the industry at conferences and at tournaments.
Ron, thank you so much for your time and effort this afternoon. Career enhancement, you're right. You know, of all the work experience activities for level one, career enhancement seems to be the one that's covered the least amount of time and effort on that. But you did put together a wonderful presentation. And on behalf of the Education Committee for the Southern California PGA, I want to thank you for your time and congratulations on your recent promotion to head golf professional at Reedy Creek. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I understand you've been out here from Scottsdale since was it last summer? You had said?
No, it was. I moved out here in 2018, I actually got my job at Reedy Creek as a assistant golf professional in November of 2018. Became that following April, May, I became the first assistant and the tournament sales director. And then in June of this year, I was promoted to head golf professional.
Because you were selling events there prior to that?
Yes, I was, yeah.
Now, just to learn a little bit more about your path, how did you get the position at Reedy Creek from Arizona?
Yeah, I was this. I was one of six assistant golf professionals at McCormick Ranch in Scottsdale. In my little introduction, I was, like I said, I was in the education field, and I'll be honest with you. You know, the students weren't bad. It was the parents I had a problem with. So made a decision to get out of it after 10 years, and my wife said, "Follow your passion." So I did, and got the job at McCormick Ranch after graduating from the Golf Academy of America, and was in level 2 when I moved to California. But yeah, I mean, got the job, met Steve Lyons at the time. He was the head pro there. Got the job as assistant golf professional there, and opportunities just kind of opened up in a very quick, at least I think so, in a very quick time frame. The first assistant and tournament sales director there moved on. He is now at Medeiros. I took his position there, and then an opportunity opened up that at the Crossings. Steve, my predecessor, he had been the head pro there at Reedy Creek for about 4 or 5 years, and he just he was much more ready for that promotion than I was. So again, you know, you just got to know yourself. You know, I would have still be drowning over there if I ever got the job over at the Crossings. Reedy Creek, on the other hand, it was comfortable. You know, I knew everything. I knew the business side of it. I knew our customers. I knew our men's club, our women's club. I knew it like the back of my hand. So instead of trying to outreach my own abilities, I just said, this is a good place to learn. So just take this opportunity as it opened up, and we'll see what happens in a few years, maybe, you know.
So to talk a little bit about your education through level 1 in terms of career enhancement, how important was resume development in terms of completing the work experience kit?
It was incredibly. I think between the interview and with the supervising professional and the resume, probably 2 of the most important activities within that module. But specifically the resume, yeah, I mean, I can get a little long-winded. You may have noticed that. Yeah, I had to really learn to kind of taper it down. I achieved a lot in education. I achieved a lot in the military, and I just felt that it all had to be there, you know. And but yeah, I mean, I had to learn to tailor it back and put what was really important, the things that actually were applicable to that job. From the military, there was a lot of leadership. There was a lot of work ethic type of thing. From teaching, there was a lot of customer service, you know, dealing with the parents. But I had to kind of cut back on that kind of stuff, you know, to just put that out there to say, you know, here's what's applicable to the golf industry. And like I said before, you know the audience, understanding what was going to make an impression for that particular facility.
So Ed Winecki, I noticed you're on the LaunchPad workshop this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Don't mean to put you on the spot here, but we hear so often about resume length in terms of putting all the relevant information on one page, no more than 2 pages. I know a lot of it depends on the position that you're going for, but can you shed a little light on the length that a resume needs to be in terms of positions that a newly elected PGA member will be looking for?
Yeah, thanks, John.
I'm sorry,
And thanks.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I should have texted you and let you know that was coming, but career enhancement, Edwinecki, like they go hand in hand right there.
Well, no, I'm on here for a reason, and if I can ever help, that's why I'm here. So thanks for putting this on. And Ron, thanks for a great presentation. Very valuable to so many people. Whoever wasn't on tonight and gets to see this will really appreciate it when they watch it in recording. So thank you both for doing this. To answer your question, John, really, it depends on what position you're applying for. And I would say how much information is pertinent to that specific job. One page is the old way of doing it. I haven't seen a great one-page resume in a long time because it doesn't tell the story. And I'll tell you, when you say a resume, you're talking about 3 things, 3 components of a resume: a cover letter, a resume, and reference page. So really, you can't, that's 3 pages. And if it's done correctly, and I see hundreds of resumes throughout the week, and I go through them and I help our assistants, associates, I help general managers formulate their resumes for other positions. So it really is tailored to the job, John, like you said, that you're applying for. And the key thing is not to just put your experience or put what they're looking for as well, but also put some things that are pertinent to today's times. Technology skills is a whole line item that you could put a number of things under there. That's so different from what you see in a lot of resumes. So I could go on and on, but again, I'm always available. My number and my phone number there, you can find it. But yeah, it's the one-pagers are gone, and it's important to hit a few key things early on, especially in that cover letter, because if you've got a stack, if I'm looking at a stack of resumes, 100 resumes for a GM position, a head pro, a first assistant job, whatever the case may be, you do those pretty quickly, and I need one that stands out. So don't be afraid to put an outline on it. Don't be afraid to do it look and feel a little different than maybe what you have done, because those stand out.
Certainly.
Hey, Ed. Hey, Ed. It's Tom Parker here. Hey, I like what you just said, but so if I'm sending something in, for an opportunity, you're saying the cover letter is the one that's going to stand out versus the CV resume thing, or just a little thing on that. Should I put in stuff in the cover letter? Bullet point. Outline cover letter to outline my skills or answer the needs of that position right there in front and grab them, versus the resume.
Well, I think, not to jump ahead of Ed, but I think the cover letter is your one solid opportunity to solve their problem. They're looking for the right candidate for the job that they're looking for, and the cover letter is the one opportunity that the candidate has to say, hey, I can solve your problem. The resume is really the history of the candidate and how they've gathered their experience and where they got the tools. But the cover letter is the opportunity to say, hey, this is how I'm going to put the tools to use and solve your problem.
Yeah, John, I agree. It's very well said and put together that way. It's your way to define who you are, and the resume is the backbone with all the details and hardcore information, what backs up why you're the right fit for that position on the cover letter in a sense.
Tom Sun, notice that you're on the LaunchPad this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Chad Wetzman, do you have any questions or any feedback you'd like to jump in and add?
Hello, can you hear me?
Chad, yes, sir, we can hear you.
Oh, hey. Yeah, no, I'm just enjoying listening to everybody. Kind of been floundering in the level 1 as everybody talks about that what happened. So I'm trying to get my wheels spinning a little bit. I have been working full time at our facility, so that's part of it, but I'm trying to get my wheel spinning again and really appreciate all the input that everybody's giving today.
Chad, where are you working?
I'm at Los Verdes in Rancho Palos Verdes in the pro shop.
And how long have you been there? You're a fellow, fellow AGC employee to another.
Yeah, there you go. I started last January, right before the shutdown. So coming on maybe almost 2 years now. Industry rounds have been booming there. We're pushing 300 plus rounds a day. So it's just nonstop insanity, but it's great. The course is great. Customers are great. Staff is great. The view is great. My golf game is not great because I'm not playing as much now, but I think that's par for the course and what everybody goes through, it sounds like. So I'm trying to get, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Chad.
No, so I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to get back into level one, moving things along and see if I can get through this first level and make it worthwhile.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's a place where you didn't see the post-COVID golf boom, would be at Los Verdes, because it was never not booming there. I mean, unless you're going to put lights up on the first 9 holes or in the last 3 holes, I don't know how you could get any more rounds out of the place than you already have. Other than going to a 5-minute tee sheet. We all know how that works out.
Yeah, well, yeah, they stopped that. So we're 10-minute intervals and foursomes only, and we're still pushing over 300 a day. So
sure,
it's good. It's great. It's good.
Well, Chad, thanks for joining us this afternoon on the LaunchPad, and please feel free to tap into any one of us for support. We're resources here for you.
Yeah, I totally appreciate
for
it.
everybody that's on the live webcast this afternoon, we will be sending out a little thank you to Ron for his time and efforts in putting together his presentation for today's workshop. And the YouTube recording of his presentation will also be available on the section website under the LaunchPad. Something that's really good that the tech support and social media has been doing at the section office. They've been sending out the advertisement for the upcoming LaunchPad, but also the previous LaunchPads are available to be viewed through that email as well, which is tremendous. So, Tom, son, I saw you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, hi, John. Thank you. Yeah, hi. Just want to say thank you to Ron. That was a great presentation, Ron. That was very informative, and hopefully Chad, and I will be sending out the recording to all associates in the section. So hopefully they can watch it, and very helpful to them. And Chad, our new associate on the call today, which is great. Hopefully we can have more new associates joining on future LaunchPads. And thanks for your time, guys. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And Tom Sun, thank you for sending that out as well. I see that email is going to almost 300 associates. So fantastic. Thank you very much for doing that. On behalf of the Education Committee for the SCPGA, I'd like to thank Ron for his time this afternoon. And hopefully everyone can join us again next Monday, 4 to 5, with the continuation of the Summertime LaunchPad Associate Workshop Series. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Take it easy. Thank you, Ron.
Not a problem. Thanks.
Have a good night, Colonel. You can go to bed now.
Thanks, Ron. Ron and John, thank you.
You're welcome.